call the WASDE report slightly friendly here. What's your take on it?
Yeah, there wasn't much to really get out of this report, but I think it was, as you said, mildly, slightly friendly to the old crop corn and soybeans. Ending stocks for corn dropped more than what the trade had expected, increased exports by maybe more than what they had expected as well. So didn't do anything last month. They were very conservative, but certainly made up for it this month. So 1.465, that's decent, a tight number for our stocks, and it's also a little supportive to new crop corn as it puts a little bit more pressure on this growing season. Make sure that we do produce a large enough crop to meet the tighter carry-in numbers, as well as our demand that looks to be growing. Exports seem to be growing each month as they haven't really backed off much so far this marketing year. Soybean ending stocks only decreased by 5 million bushels, but that was trade wasn't really expecting much of anything from the government there. So increasing the crush by 10 million bushels probably justified, but again, not many balance sheet changes there. Nothing really on the world production numbers from Argentina or Brazil, and we're just left with these little bit tighter numbers and tighter ending stocks and slightly friendly markets. So we're enjoying the higher prices so far.
We go to just focusing on weather then and planting progress next?
I think that's probably the next thing is what happens with not only weather here in the United States, but also what happens in South America. We want to keep a close eye on production out of South America, especially safrinha corn crop. As if they have some sort of a drought or don't produce as much corn as what we anticipate, that opens the door for even more U.S. corn exports. The U.S. weather looks very wide open for the next 2 weeks. So I would suspect by next week there's going to be a lot of planters rolling across the Midwest trying to get out into the fields, plant some of this crop, especially with warmer temperatures coming and a pretty decent seed bed.
Sure. Is the livestock market reacting at all?
It's just following to a T what is happening with the equity markets. S&Ps are down sharply today, and we're seeing 200 to 300 point losses in the live cattle. Seems like for every 100 point losses in the S&Ps, we get about $1 drop in the cattle market, just following its lead, either up or down. It was up yesterday, down today.
Anything else we should be aware of here, Brian?
The main things we're watching, I think, is the tariffs and the ongoing situation there. There was a nice news item yesterday about the pause, but there is still 10% tariffs out on almost every country out in the world. So we're far from an agreement being reached. Markets do seem to have kind of shrugged off a lot of that news and are just really focused on what's happening as far as weather in South America and in the United States.
All right. Thank you much. Appreciate it.